Hey, this is Matt with Fetch a Wrench. Today I've got a 2007 Honda Ridgeline I'm going to be working on. So here's the Ridgeline I'll be working on, and we're going to do some front struts today. I'm going to show you guys how I diagnose struts. Alright, I got my GoPro on now, and I'll show you guys how I do this. So normally I just open up the door like this, and this gives you a little bit of leverage, and I'll just grab the upper part of the door and the lower part of the door. I'm going to rock it up side to side, and you can hear the struts knocking. It's mostly pronounced on the driver's side, but I don't have as much leverage over there, so here we go. So I already replaced the sway bar end links, so I know it's not those. It's real pronounced going over bumps. You'll hear a rattle up in the firewall, upper strut mount area. So I'm pretty certain it's the struts. So we'll get those replaced. The quick jack set up. We've got 2 blocks under there. So a big block and a skinny block. Alright, here we go. Alright, set up here and get the wheels off and get those struts replaced. This vehicle's got 166,000 miles. I said earlier I already did the sway bar end links. So yeah, sway bar end links are new, but these struts I assume are original. Ball joint feels good down there. Okay, so we gotta take off these 2 big guys, this nut here, the brake hose here, the ABS line, and then we'll get in from the top. There's 3 bolts up there. Alright, so let's get started. I usually hit up this stuff with a PV blaster, just in case. I've broken one of these guys off, so you want to be careful with this. Take your time. You do not want to bust a bolt. That one should come off pretty easily. Get this guy here, it's exposed on the back side there, and yeah, you definitely don't want to break that off. Alright, so you typically want to get this guy off first, that way you're working with a stable surface here. So it's just going to spin on me. The back side's got a hex head on it though, so we should still be able to get a wrench on it. We can get a wrench on the back side. Comes right off. So that came off super easy. Normally these things do not come off easily at all. So you see that? You get a flat edge on each side. So that was a 18. Alright, so that guy's off there. And these big boys, I'm actually going to heat that up because I had bad luck. Last one I did snapped on me. And the brake line's right there, so you got to be careful with that. I usually heat these for about 2 minutes. Alright, that should be good enough. Came out well. Alright, next up are these 2 big boys. Alright, so we got a 24. And I doubt this is going to work because this is not an impact socket, but we'll give it a try anyways. Yeah, not budging. Okay, get a breaker bar on those. Might need to get some heat on those too. I'm not too worried about those breaking though. A little more PV blaster on those, and then I'll get some heat on it too. I saw one YouTube video where the dude had a lot of trouble with these bolts too. I think he's up in Canada. There we go, sweet. Alright, so now it's just spinning. So we gotta get a wrench on this. Alright, now I'm in business. Michigan corrosion right there, buddy. This one's gonna be a little bit harder to reach because it's lower, but we should be able to get it off. Keep working on it with this. That should Hopefully come on now. Okay. All right, now we'll go up from the top. If you were a hood prop, where would you be hiding? Okay, we got our holes. There's the thing, so it's just missing. No hood prop. I guess I'll just do this. All right, that'll work. Okay, so yeah, the trick is the bolts are underneath these little covers. See if we can get these off here. Man, I could really use that hood to be high. Here, we're gonna do this instead. So I don't know if you can see down in there, but we've got 3 nuts. Those are 14. But what we're going to do is we're going to put a piece of tape in here so that the nut won't fall on us. Let's try that and see what happens. So I just got that tape tucked in there like that. That's tighter. And these are usually not too tight, so we'll see if this takes it out. So I have to break it loose with this. Make sure it's going to stick, which I can see it through this hole, and we're stuck, so we're good. And then we'll likely want to reuse those nuts because the aftermarket usually don't have a nice flange like that. You kind of have to go by feel down there. It's kind of back this way a little bit. So now the strut's going to want to fall down, but it's sitting on, yeah, it's going to want to fall down on me. Alright, so now it should drop down. So you get this ABS wire to kind of watch out for. Go back this way, bring it down. Alright, so here's our new struts. I gave the customer a few options on brands. He went with FCS. I've used these before. They are on the cheaper end of the spectrum, but I haven't had any issues with them. You want to make sure you get the correct side. So part number here has the R for the right side, and just get it out, set it next to one another. So you got your sway bar end link there, your brake line. So we got the right one here. Don't need this. Dead off. These nuts actually don't look all that bad, but I'm going to use the OEM nuts. So yeah, a lot of that knocking I assume is coming from up in this area. So we'll go in the same side and make sure you got it oriented roughly the same. So see that tie rod in? It got shifted over. So clock the knuckle to the rear. You should be able to get it in there a little easier. And then you're gonna look up here, try to get it up in the hole. And this is where you're fighting gravity. Make sure you get the ABS line on the outside of it. Alright. So I think what I'm gonna do, since this thing's so heavy, is get at least one of these in here, and then I'll help hold it up. Okay, so got that. Now these things should be able to get threaded on there a little easier. I'll go back through and torque those in a minute. Remember, this one's kind of toward the back a little bit. So one thing I do is put all my torque specs in my calendar. So I got 43 foot-pounds up here and 134 down below. So this to 43. My impact ratchet is 55 foot-pounds. So these might already be over 43. Yeah. Got 43 all the way around. Get our little plugs back in here. Alright, now get these big nuts on here. Get those torqued down. 134. Okay, 134. Alright, now bracket back on, and then the brake ABS line on, and then that guy. And that does not need to be very tight. And these just clip in. That's clipped in. This goes like that. Alright, so that side's all done. Nice and shiny.